Hey everybody, I'm Dylan from Node Finance, and today we're going to be going over the Node Identity Kit. This is a fairly early version of the Node Identity Kit, and so it only supports phone numbers. Um, we're going to kind of go through a side-by-side demo and code so you can see all it can do and also how easy it is to integrate. So first of all, we'll start with actually verifying your phone number. I have a small little demo UI here on the right. That is on my phone right here, so I'll be doing the demo here. First things first, using the Node SDK, we can see I need to connect my wallet, but I don't actually know my wallet address until we connect. For this particular demo, I'm using a local wallet, and so the Node React Native SDK handles the secure encryption of my mnemonic on my device. And so if I just press this button, it's going to ask for my Face ID. And once I do that, it unlocks. And so from here, I can now verify my phone number. So go here, on iOS prompts me to fill it. And now I just submit. And now I already verified a phone number through Node. And so I'm going to get this error message from our API that says, hey, this phone number is already verified. Luckily, I can tell it I want to force verify my phone number. So I'll force the next attempt, and I'll retry it, and we'll see it succeeded. And 6-digit code just came from messages. You can see that right here. And now verification success. It's that fast. And from there, we can now actually look up my phone number. And this is where it gets a little bit more interesting as well, because under the hood, the Node Identity Kit is using the Zelle ASV2 protocol. And the ASV2 protocol essentially allows for multiple attesters to attest the identity of a given address or a given phone number, for example. So while Node is one attester, there are other players in the space that attest for phone numbers as well. And so as the ecosystem grows, we're going to be supporting more attesters through the SDK. Right now, we have an attester list. And we can see it's easy to find the attesters. I can just do attester.findByName. And it's going to give me all of the issuers that are under that attester. This is crowdsourced, so we rely on the attesters to come to us and make a pull request in this repo in order to add themselves as an attester. But let's actually search up my phone number. So I'll autocomplete again, and I'll search. And we'll see that it found me. You might have noticed a little bit longer waiting time there. This is still in early access, so we probably got a cold start for our service there. But now, if we want to check if Kala has attested my phone number as well, the way the Identity Kit works is the node attester is given the lowest priority if you are supplying other attesters you want to trust. So here I say I want to trust Kala, and we can see that Kala actually attested a separate address for me. And so with the Node Identity Kit, you can list attesters as well as a merge rule. So you can imagine if you have one attester that says at one point in time, this phone number is linked to this address, and then later this phone number is linked to another address. We offer an earliest or latest merge conflict there. The default is going to be latest, but when you instantiate the node kit, you can just tell us if you want earliest instead. So now if I were to do earliest and save this and let it reload, because I have tested this so many times, I have linked a lot of wallets to my phone number. So if we search up my phone number now, we'll actually see it's a different address. And that's because the first address I linked to my specific phone number was this one. And we can see I just previously, a couple minutes ago, did this current wallet address, the 2E9, for the first time. So just to show that again, we'll switch this to latest, reload, and we can see it's 2E9. Additionally, if I declare another attester, such as Impact Labs I have not attested my phone number with, so there's not going to be any record under them, then the SDK will fall back to the node attestation. So with that demo out of the way, we'll just quickly go through the code that it took to get here. So jumping back to attesting a phone number, we start that off with a call to kit.startVerification. And so this is just going to take in the wallet address and the phone number. Those are the only two requirements. Later on down the line, we will be rolling out attestation for other forms of identity, such as social media. And that's where the third argument will go. And then the final argument is what I mentioned before, being able to force the attestation. That's the case if a phone number has already been linked to a wallet. You have to specifically tell our backend to force the next attestation. This is going to give you an object that says whether or not the wallet is already verified or if its verification status is pending. If it's pending, you're going to have this submit callback in the response. And that submit callback just takes in a one-time code that will be sent via SMS to whatever phone number is provided. In our case, we are not going through the submit callback. Instead, we are just directly referencing submit verification. Here, you do have to resupply the address and phone number just for utmost security. But if you were to use that submit callback, you just have to supply the code. Finally, submit verification or submit is going to give you a very similar object as start verification. And if it's success, you're going to have verification status is verified. If it failed, then our error message will tell you exactly why. And at that point, the phone number is attested. And then for looking up phone numbers, we can scroll down. Currently, additional attesters have to be added in the constructor for the IdentityKit. IdentityKit is a very lightweight object, so it shouldn't be a major issue, but I'm sure very soon a future version will extend additional features where you can add attesters without having to instantiate a new object. But here we tell the IdentityKit explicitly what issuers, the address of the issuers that we want to trust, and we also tell it the merge conflict resolution. The only thing that's required here is the node API key. And then finally, to look up a phone number, we just have to call kit.lookup. This takes in the phone number, and later on down the line, it'll take in the type of identifier. And we get both the address of the wallet and the address of the attester. So if you look back to the phone screen, you can see that it actually tells us who has attested the address we found. So if I look through Kala again, then you can see that this address was attested by Kala. And if I turn this off, the address was attested by Node. And that is all that is required to integrate the Node IdentityKit. There's a lot more details on our documentation, explicitly what's going on behind the scenes. If anybody's curious, I highly recommend checking out the Zelle ASV2 documentation. Not only is it very impressive, it's also extremely interesting. You can go down the whole rabbit hole of looking through Otis and how they obfuscate these identifiers to make it all this zero-knowledge magic. For now, though, you can go check out nodefinance.org to find our docs and get this integrated.